Alright, hello everybody. Today we're making a different kind of video. This is something a lot of people talk about and have questions about, electronic shifters in general. So today we're here in the 2020 Acura RDX with an electronic shifter. This same electronic shifter is in all Honda products that have the electronic shifter, as well as all Acura products with the electronic shifter. So we thought we'd make a little video just kind of explaining some of the things you need to know about this shifter. As it rolls out to more and more cars, you're very likely to have it perhaps in your next Honda or Acura product. So of course we'll start off with the very basic stuff. That's just how you actually control it. So you have your park, reverse, neutral, and drive. So for drive, you're just going to press the circle D, and it will light up with a green ring around it. On this Acura, to activate the sport mode is going to be a second push of this circle button. However, some of the Honda products have a separated sport mode below. For neutral, you just press the N, that's in between reverse and drive. It has a little light again on the side of it. And then to distinguish, to make sure you don't accidentally press, the reverse is actually a trigger. So you're just going to pull back on the trigger. You actually hear a little sound effect as well to tell you that you're in reverse, and it also lights up on the side of it. Then finally, park is at the very top here, and you just press the P. Now, one of the things people are most concerned about knowing is what happens if you were to forget to put the vehicle in park or leave it out of gear and you try to get out of the vehicle. And Acura has of course thought of this. So what happens is, so we'll put the car in drive. When I reach for this door handle and I open it up, the car automatically shifts into park. So that way, if you try to get out, the car is definitely not going to roll away or anything like that. However, there is one exception. If I've got my seatbelt on, Acura knows I'm not leaving the car. Therefore, I can put the car in drive, and we can open up the driver's side door or any of the other doors in the vehicle still, and the vehicle will remain in drive. Similar to that is the neutral function. If there's ever an instance like a breakdown or something like that where you need to leave the vehicle in neutral but not be inside of the car, what you do is you just hold down on the neutral button here for 2 seconds, and it says press neutral again and hold down for 2 seconds to override. So I've now overridden that. I can now exit the vehicle, and leave the vehicle will remain in neutral. Now also, one of the most common things that people wonder about is what would happen if you press, for instance, reverse or park while you're in motion in drive. For whatever reason, people worry about that more with an electronic shifter. I don't know why you'd be more likely to do that with an electronic shifter than a regular shifter, but nevertheless, in a similar way, Acura does basically override that. So if you were to pull reverse or park while in motion, it's actually, the transmission will just shift into neutral, which of course is something that can be done at speed without harming the transmission or anything like that. And then really the last feature to discuss is the shift lock, basically. This is relevant if the car is ever broke down in such a way that you cannot start the vehicle. That would then make this gear selector not function properly. So what you have to do in that case is, since there's no traditional shift lock inside of this cabin, with the electronic shifter, you have to actually get underneath of the hood. There is a little button inside that will have to be flipped to allow for the vehicle to be able to roll without you being able to start it. That's probably not something that you're going to be able to do on your own. It is possible, but one of the things Honda talks about is that you have, on Acura and Honda, you're going to have complimentary roadside assistance for several years. and that's certainly something that they will be able to do if you ever come across an issue that renders your car unable to start. But anyways, I hope you found this video to be insightful. This, as you can see, there's actually quite a bit of features to go along with this electronic shifter. And like I said, as this rolls out to more and more Honda and Acura products, because it saves a lot of space, as you can see in this vehicle, it's definitely important to know what the abilities of your shifter. So thank you for joining us, and hopefully you found this insightful.